no compassion.
Wendy,
She's a psychopath.
Wendy,
she killed in cold blood, lied about it, doesn't deserve to live because
Janet
she has
Johnson
no
for
human
the defense.
compassion. Period.
Since when, Wendy, since when is leniency life? This is life in prison, and this is what I think people are losing sight of. They're not.
That's the definition of leniency.
No, Wendy. No, they're not saying.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
let
one
her
at a
out,
time.
Let's
one
give her
at
a
time.
party. They're trying to make a punishment that is appropriate for her situation. And life in prison in most states is the most serious punishment that you can get. So we're not saying give her a break.
That wasn't the issue for them.
And that's what people are forgetting.
Was, is it enough? No, you're misstating the law.
All right, let's let the gentleman come in. John Lieberman.
Well, I think that's a little bit of a misstatement because leniency in this case, I mean, she was up for the death penalty. I mean, so this was a death penalty case and still is, I might add. I mean, if you look at Twitter, you look at Facebook, people are acting like Jodi Arias is going to walk out of jail tonight and go to Starbucks and get one of those frappuccinos that she likes about. She's not going anywhere. This is like a baseball game that's tied at the end of 9 innings. This case is far from over. I personally don't think that Juan Martinez and his boss are going to take death off the table. I don't see why they would. This is a death penalty case,
8 to 4.
and they've come this
agree
far.
that they're not going to take death off the table.
Well,
but
let
the
us
question
bring
is
in
whether or not
two of our experts.
another impaneled jury is gonna send her to death. I think it was very telling, John.
We don't know, but listen, the jury
Beth
foreperson made it clear that Jodi Arias' 18 days on the stand hurt her because of all of her lies. So this jury did not bond with Jodi Arias.
They didn't give her death.
Guys, we're going to have plenty of time to debate tonight, but I want to get our viewers clued into what could happen next. Now, Beth Karras, there are 2 key dates where we will be back here on this very courthouse steps. Why? And tell us what those dates are.
Well, there's a status conference on June 20th. That's to make sure everything is in place and set for July 18th. That's the second date, and that's the penalty phase retrial. But there could be a motion to continue it. Who knows if everyone will be ready on the 18th, but it is a date they agreed on yesterday.
Now, just to be clear, Jodi Arias is convicted of murder 1. That has not changed. Jodi Arias has also been found responsible, or the killing has been deemed by the jury cruel, extremely cruel. That's an aggravator. The one thing that hasn't been decided that this jury could not decide was life or death. So let's make sure the people understand that distinction.
That's true, but in the penalty phase, they can look at all of the evidence from the guilt phase, and that's something they can use to make their determination of aggravating and against the mitigating factors. Also, the fact that the aggravating factor of cruelty was found already, that automatically comes into the penalty phase. So this is going to have to be a complex penalty phase because you're taking a brand new jury that has never been a part of the evidence. They're going to have to get up to speed to understand the basis for the conviction of premeditation.
All right. I got to tell you, so many people are not only shocked at the outcome, but they are confused about what's going to happen next. Let's listen to this, and then we're going to debate it and explain it.
State of Arizona versus Jodi Arias, sentencing verdict. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, unanimously find, having considered all of the facts and circumstances, that the defendant should be sentenced. No unanimous agreement. Signed, 4-person. Is this your true verdict? So say you want to know?
All right, let's debate it. Now what? Again, she's still guilty of murder 1. Let's not act like this is a complete victory for Jodi Arias. I mean, she was found guilty of first-degree murder. She was found guilty of the aggravator. Yes, they said she killed him in an extremely cruel way by slitting his throat and stabbing him all those times and shooting him in the face. It's just a question of will she live or die? They couldn't figure it out. So, Wendy Murphy, you're a former prosecutor. A lot of people are saying, Prosecutor Juan Martinez, this costs a lot of money. They don't know if they're going to find 12 jurors that haven't formed an opinion about this case. Could Jodi Arias hijack the case? There's a whole bunch of reasons to maybe consider a plea deal.
Well, yeah, you can argue the economics all day long, but every time a defendant is on trial and spends 5 years, you know, dawdling about and doing silly things to waste out the clock, people say, as well they should, justice is sometimes expensive. If it's the right thing to do, you do it. Juan Martinez knows that she would have pled guilty to first-degree murder a long time ago. He pushed ahead because he believes, as does the family, that this is a case that warrants death. Here's what I like about what's coming up. A new jury selected that knows nothing about the case? Not possible. Can they be fair? Absolutely. And they will be blissfully free from all the porn. They're not going to have to sit through 18 days of, and then I bent over. That'll be good. Good for the family that we won't have to all sit through that. Good for me. And they're also going to be told that Jodi lied in her media interviews after the verdict.
Yes.
She lied to the media. They're going to hear that. That's manipulation. They're going to use that against her.
Jodi's going to end up digging
Let's
her
bring
own
in
grave.
Dave Hall. You think so, John?
I do. I believe, just as Wendy said, that those media interviews are going to come back and bite Jodi Arias. I believe those media interviews, in part, are going to dig her own grave. They were the most ill-advised, crazy interviews
why would that
ever.
come back to haunt her? We know those jurors don't like her. They didn't believe her, John, and they still
remorse,
loved
and
them.
this new jury is going to see that and hear that.
And what did she say
what I'm
after
saying
all that
is,
was
let
that
me ask the experts here. Nobody knows more about this case than these two ladies here, except for maybe the prosecutor. Beth Karras, John Lieberman is saying that in this penalty phase retrial, that the interviews that Jodi Arias did while the jury was deliberating, remember all those controversial, she gave a slew, it was like a press junket, that those are going to come back to haunt her, that they could play those, and then that would hurt her even more with this jury, the new jury, the hypothetical jury that they're going to find.
I think John's right. If Juan Martinez chooses to use them, I don't know that he will, but any statement she's made could be used by him if he wants to. So I think John's right.
What do you think?
Well, here's what's interesting, and we need to learn more about the procedure in Arizona, but if in fact the defense does not put up one mitigation witness at all, then there's nothing to cross-examine. If Jodi makes an allocution, it's a statement, and although it can be referred to just like it was days ago in the closing argument, you didn't see him put up that new video that she did 20 minutes after the conviction. But the jury has to learn about the guilt phase. They have to learn about the lies and the demeanor and the premeditation. Although that has been determined, it's not to be litigated again. It's still important for the jury to know about.
And Jean's points are well taken. However, because there's no guilt phase here, they do need to hear this mitigation evidence. So I think this time they will. A lot of the mitigation evidence this time around came in the guilt phase. And I keep hearkening back to one example. One of her 8 mitigators was she suffered abuse as a child and adult. Now, we didn't hear that in the penalty phase. We heard that in the guilt phase. So that's going to have to come in now through her or maybe someone, some friend or whatever. So they will put on mitigation evidence.
What I'm hearing you say is that even though they basically said, oh, we're not even going to put on a mitigation phase this last time. We're not going to call her mother. We're not going to call her ex-boyfriend. We're not going to call her whatever. This time, it's almost like that was a dress rehearsal for the real thing, and now this time they can get it right and actually call mitigators, call people who are going to speak on Jodi Arias' behalf. I mean, am I saying it?
Yes. Well, they almost have to because the new jury won't have heard the guilt evidence. They have to put that on again. Jodi Arias told the jury ad nauseum about her alleged abuse as a child and adult. Now, they got to put that on in the mitigation phase, right? They've got to put it on.
You mean the prosecutor?
I mean, no, the defense. The defense has to put it on.
They have the burden. They have the burden. But they then have an issue because Beth is right. There would then be cross-examination of all of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if it's a good idea to say I was so abused. Wouldn't you want to just have your mother come on and say she's a good girl, I love her, don't kill her? You see what I mean?
She can be cross-examined on that. The mother can be cross-examined, and you can hear about the acts of kicking her mother and the horrible words. But this jury heard that too.
All right, well, you know what? I'm just going through the wormhole. Are you confused? We are too. In fact, the whole world's confused right now. Nobody knows what's really going to happen.